1 in 3 Texans will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. That's according to the Texas Advocacy Project. That means over 9 million people in the state will go through something. No one should have to, but local groups, they try to help those who need it by providing relief and a lot of support. Joining us this morning are 3 women working to really make a difference here in DFW. Ruth Guerreiro from the Genesis Shelter, and then Allie and Bess of Allie and Bess Jewelry. Very popular on social media. I always spot your stuff. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's get things started. Ruth, let's start with you. Tell us more about the Genesis Shelter and what you guys do there.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here today and to talk about Genesis Women's Shelter and Support. So we started in 1985 as a shelter, and we have grown into a full-service response. We have counseling and advocacy. We have attorneys that provide legal representation. We have occupational therapists. And of course, we've got 4 different locations. So we have our emergency shelter, transitional housing, and then 2 non-residential locations, one in Uptown Dallas and one in South Oak Cliff. All of our services are free and confidential, and we have been able to really provide services for about 3,500, excuse me, women and children each year.
Obviously, you've seen a huge need here in North Texas.
Yes, we have, yeah. And we've been able to, work with so many women and children that our hope is that the children who we served 20 or 30 years ago have been able to now be adults and stop that cycle of violence in their own families.
So needed. Now, Allie and Bess, you said that you were touched by the Genesis Women's Center and their mission of being mothers yourselves as well. Tell us about the impact and how that changed when it comes to your own business.
For sure. When we started Allie and Bess, we really wanted to be intentional with giving back to our community and being involved in our community. And we got connected with Genesis Women's Shelter, and we went and we served there, and we walked out of there and were completely changed by what they do and what they do for the kids there. And we just knew we had to be a part of it.
We went over Christmas time, I think it was 2 years ago, and made bracelets with the kids. And the original idea was they would just make them for their mothers. And it was, I get chills even thinking about it, because the kids just started making more and more because they had never been able to give a gift. And so they came up with like 10 or 15 people that and we walked out, it was meant so much more to us than it did to these kids. And we knew that was that was where we needed to be.
Right, and you guys actually have a beautiful jewelry line that I see some of you wearing some of the pieces. And this is a give back right now to the Genesis Center.
Yeah, so we launched our game day collection in August, and we wanted to have a give back component with that. Yeah. And so they were already doing a backpack drive, and so we kind of piggybacked off that. And so we kind of did a big social media campaign for all of our followers to bring backpacks to our headquarters.
And we were just overwhelmed with how many people sent to us and mailed us stuff from all over the U.S. just to give back to Genesis. It was really, it was
a huge
amazing
moment.
Ruth, to see people, I guess, giving back to the center, what is the biggest takeaway, and how can we really bring awareness to this issue?
Yeah, thank you. We love that. So part of our mission is to provide that shelter and safety and support for the women and children, but the other part is raising awareness. And so when we have people like Allie and Bess coming in and being able to be part of the program, right, we see that we're able to raise awareness on a higher level. You know, statistics are showing us that $8 million are being lost in corporate America every year because of domestic violence. And so them being able to help raise awareness just helps us in our mission. We can't do it alone, right? It can't just be Genesis or just City Hall or just the police officers. We have to do this as a community to solve domestic violence.
All right, and ladies, before we go here, how can people help out really accessing the game day collection that you guys created?
Yeah, so our game day collection, you can find it on our website, allieandbess.com. Or you can find us on social media at Shop Allie Bess. Sorry.
And I was looking at some of the stuff this morning. It is really cute. Very Dallas as well. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And thank you for all of the work that you're doing in our community. Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
All right. Coming up.